What's up? Welcome to the Radio.com Fandemic. It's Radio.com's Kevin Kenny and Tones and I joining us from Australia. Are you still down under right now, Tones?
Yeah, I'm in Australia.
Have you gotten like sort of used to like the morning radio circuit a little bit just with the success you've had recently? Getting really up early?
Um, yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot of interviews from overseas and stuff. So, so it's been actually the opposite. Like, it's been random times in the middle of the day. Which is good.
Right on. Let's talk about You're So Cool. We're playing it across the radio.com alternative stations. And probably, I mean, that's probably even crossing over to some pop stations as well, too, of course. I want to actually lead with the video because I think the video is so fantastic. And I think sometimes artists forget how a video can actually accentuate a song. And you certainly didn't forget that with the video that you co-directed it, right?
Yeah, so I came up with the concept of what I wanted to do. I do that with all my videos. I think it's like just as important as writing the song. And then I got some of my friends, the guys that did Dance Monkey, because they're just awesome people and really good to work with. And then I was just like, look, I'm going to be every character, and we'll just do a lot of latex over 3 days. And we'll just like go for it. Yeah, that's literally what I said. Like, let's just go for it. Like, don't give me any prompts because I get nervous. All I can really do is just roll the camera and play the track. So that's what we did.
Is acting something that's of interest to you? I mean, you do such a great job in the video, and you're so versatile too. If anyone watching this hasn't seen the video, you really do. You play not only different roles, but very different types of people. Do you ever think about acting or doing that in addition to music?
I've never thought about acting in my life, and honestly, I'd probably be terrible at it. I think the only reason I was able to do that is because the latex and everything, I really looked like someone totally different to me. So I think that if you put me in an acting role where I just look like myself, I'd be like, nah, it doesn't feel right.
Talk to me a little bit about what the song was born out of. I think it's such a poignant song just for right now too, as we globally go through this pandemic that just inherently is going to change all of our lives probably forever. And I've just been talking to some of my artist friends about how things like you touch on in the song, like flexing on IG, just seems so tone deaf now, given the issues we're facing. And just seeing kind of culture shift to away from that kind of stuff. Did you write the song based off of like a single post you saw, or was it a kind of an accumulation of things? Where did the song come from?
I actually got invited to like a party on like the top of Beverly Hills, and and I kind of like, obviously a year ago today I was living in my car and I played music on the street. And so to go from like 2 different lifestyles in 1 year, I kind of like went there and was like, oh, this isn't really for me. Like, people aren't really having fun or like getting to know each other or whatever. And no one really spoke to me and my friends. Everyone was like telling me what they do. That's the most important thing and why they deserve to be at this party. And I was like, I don't even want to be here. Let's go. And then the next morning, in the studio, because I was actually there to record. So the next morning I was in the studio and I was like talking about it with my friend, like, oh my God, that was such an awkward night. And then I was like, let's just write a song about it, and didn't think we'd release it. And then pretty much decided to release it. And just by the way, side note, these parties happen everywhere. It's just so happens that it was in Beverly Hills, but we have them here, we have them in Melbourne, and I wanted people to know, like, the grass isn't greener on the other side. Like, go have beers with your friends and play beer pong. Like, you're gonna have way more fun.
Totally. How has the navigation process been for you? You talk about a year ago you were living out of a van. Of course, now, off the success of songs like You're So Cool and Dance Monkey before it, you're just living in an incredibly different, you're somewhat the toast of the town, right, in many respects. How do you navigate, all these new people you're meeting? How do you navigate trust? How do you navigate your mental health through it all? How's that been?
I think like the first 6 months was, was a real roller coaster. You know, there's the whole like tall poppy syndrome thing where if someone does well, you just want to not like them.
Mhm.
And for me personally, someone that always wanted to be a street performer, that was my dream. I worked full time in retail waiting to get my permit to be a street performer. Like that's what I wanted. And you know what? I guess I didn't really dream big enough because I didn't expect all of this. But I mean, I feel like going through that moment was like, well, I can't stop this now if I tried. So I just have to take it day by day. Be
Right.
the exact same person I've always been. And I think that it can really take a hit on you as a human being when people judge you by the way you look or your voice and decide to absolutely hate you. But I got over it pretty quickly. November was tough, and then I was like, get over it. And I had to really get over it. Like, so I've been fine for ages now. But yeah, any artists that are in that position, like they need support. Like new artists now coming through, like in the next year, like they're gonna have all my support. Like it's not okay that if an artist starts doing well, we have people online that publicly just go ham at them. It's not
Yeah.
okay, and it happens to a lot of artists. I've seen it happen to some newer ones as well again recently, and it's really not okay. But I mean, just a bloody battle. So,
Yeah.
um, I'm fine now, but I do worry. Like, there's even some really young artists coming up in Australia, and I've reached out to them, and it's just not okay. So that was my hardest thing. The best thing ever is being able to play live music to people around the world because that's all I ever wanted to do. The reason I'm in this industry is to just play live music. So, you know, that's definitely the best thing out of it, and that's what I love doing, and that's the reason I'm here. So hopefully, I can get back out and play live music soon.
Right. I wanted to ask you about street performing, and that caught my ear when you said that was your goal to just be a street performer. That was the dream. I find that it's just busking or street performing, whatever you want to call it, is it's a different part of international culture than it is here in the States. I mean, there's constantly crossover artists coming here from the States, whether it's a James Arthur or a Passenger that have those busking roots, or even an Ed Sheeran who has experience with busking. Why go that route in terms of trying to pursue this career? It's such a visceral route as opposed to trying to go, let's say, viral online. I mean, just talking to you for a couple of minutes here, I can tell you're probably not like the trying to go viral purposely type, but why go that route specifically?
Because I think they're two very, very different things. I think my goal was to live off my music. And I did. I lived in my van in a coastal beach town and made enough money for food, beers, and petrol. And I had the best days of my life. My goal was never to be famous. You know, it takes, it's kind of like if I was to just upload videos, I'd have kind of more of an agenda. And I understand that either way, it's gotten me here. But I
Right.
genuinely feel like my only thing I really wanted to do was wake up every day and play music for people. But no one knew who I was. No one was going to pay for a ticket. So I had to do that because that's what makes me happy. It doesn't make me happy singing on my computer and checking social media every day to see where my views are at and checking comments. Actually, it's the opposite. I would hate to do that.
Right.
So I try and keep everything offline so I can just be a happier person.
Well, how have you sort of reconciled your fame and your success now? Because I mean, Dance Monkey was one of the biggest songs. I mean, just bar none of the past year. You're So Cool is quickly becoming one of the biggest songs of 2020. It's certainly probably one of those summer songs when all said and done. Is there a part of you when you see the numbers grow, whether it's 7 billion streams for Dance Monkey or the I think almost 5 million views already for the video for You're So Cool? Is there a part of you that gets a little like scared of like, ooh, slow down just a little bit?
Yeah, it's really nerve wracking. I mean, I'm definitely not someone that. Have you ever thought of as an artist or a celebrity and thought, God, they don't see anything. They're unobtainable. They're just like a statue, not a statue, but almost like they're a celebrity. They're out of reach. Like I'm the opposite of that. Like, I'm so like involved and like normal and just speak to people and I'm around and I like whatever. It's just really different for me because it's like adds a sense of vulnerability. And it's really hard when I see those numbers grow. Like, I do think about it and I feel so overwhelmingly thankful and proud and all these emotions, but it can flip either way depending on what people feel like giving out. And that's just honest. Usually people wouldn't admit that, but that's just real honest. Like, I care about what I put out there, and I do it all myself. I've been producing it all and writing it all. And I feel like, I'm proud of it. And so when I do look at it and it does well, I feel thankful, like so thankful, because it's people showing me that they want to know me as an artist and not just a song. And that's the coolest thing, to have people do that to you when I've worked so hard on the streets and I really wanted to, be myself and be sarcastic how I am. And then for people to take that and go, all right, Tones, we'll bite. Like, it's just, that's the coolest thing.
So let me ask you this question as we sort of wrap up here. Is your former dream was being a street performer. Of course, now your life has just in the most insane of ways changed completely over the past 12 months. What is the new dream? What is the new goal?
I really, 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 and I've always wanted this, obviously going into busking instead of online performances. I just want to be a really, really true to like recording live performer. I want to be known to put on shows that people remember, and that's really important to me. And I'm not talking about having girls in G-strings dance behind me. I'm talking about vocally, and I want everyone to feel something, and that's what I've always wanted. So I think that that's definitely always going to be my biggest goal.
Who made you feel like that? Is your desire sort of born out of an artist when you were younger, making you feel that way, and then you wanting to pass that forward?
So many artists. But this is the one random thing that I've never said, but since you've brought that up, every single live performance I've ever gone to in my whole life, I cried, bawled my eyes out. The first person I ever saw in concert was Snoop Dogg. It's like, Snoop Dogg, who stands and cries to "So What, We Get Drunk." I'm crying, because I'm thinking, I can do this. I want to do this. Like, I know I can do this. And at Splendor in the Grass last year or the year before, I said to my friends, I'm going to be up there one day on the amphitheater stage. And they were all like, haha, yeah, like, I'm going to be up there one day. Like, they're good friends, but they were just joking. The very next year, I played on that exact same stage to 30,000 people. And only after that, I had that experience where I said, I can do this. I know this is what I'm meant to do. When I stopped crying. Now I don't cry anymore. But I've cried at every live show, small or big, like forever. Because I was like, am I going to live my life and never get to do the one thing I know I'm meant to do? And I know a lot of people feel the same way. And it is hard, but you've got to work hard because it's so worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful story. I also feel like I'm not fully enjoying Snoop Dogg if I'm not crying now.
Thank you. It makes me emotional. It was my first ever live show.
I'm gonna start thinking about Gin and Juice as a ballad, I think.
Yeah.
So is the dream? This is the final question. Is the dream to go out on the road with Snoop Dogg, or who's the dream artist, in all seriousness, to hit the road with and just put on the greatest show of all time? Since you're so passionate about the live show,
it has to be Macklemore, because he is so passionate and respectable. Like, his lyrics are full of passion. You respect his lyrics. You respect how hard he worked. And he also doesn't bring other artists down. He's done it all, like being a respectable human being. And I think that you can cop it. And I know, and I've spoken to him about it, because when I was struggling, and I think everyone can really cop it on the way up, but how you hold yourself is really important, because there's a lot of people that look up to you, and, it's hard. And I think he's just the most passionate person. And I love him. And I don't know. He's awesome.
Awesome. Tones and I just thank you so much for taking the time for radio.com, and congratulations on all the success.
Thank you so much, and have a great night.